trying to do this again. All right. Okay. Give us just a minute. Okay.
Okay.
We're on live.
Oh.
Occurring, and we don't know why. Everything is occurring the way that it is. It's just really weird today.
You talking? Keep talking.
I'm trying to get this stuff straight now.
To be honest with you, are we on? Are we on? I don't see. Well, I don't see nobody on here right now. I don't have to see. What Charles gonna say if he can come back on? I think Charles gonna today.
You know what it is. You're probably like, what is going on with them today?
Yeah. Well, it's a technical situation today.
Yeah.
It's a technical situation probably everywhere. We just now noticing probably. And like I said, it could be the people that live above us, around us, but why?
Okay. Situation. Yeah, I think that the ultimate part of it all, in terms of the internet company,
and that could be the case.
Because this, and we've been with them in the past, so this really should not be
an issue. Yeah, it should not be an issue at all.
But
all the money that we have to pay, bills and stuff, it should be an issue. Who's on here with us? 19 people.
Yes, it's from
Instagram.
Yeah. So, guys, if you're on Instagram, stay on. Don't be running.
Oh, I mean,
running from truth. Okay. That, let me see here. Got to.
Let's talk about
Kevin
Hart.
Instagram. I know you guys are seeing a split because the way this program is set up, it covers two people on here, so you see us kind of sideways. Unfortunately, we have to have another visual way this program is set up to fill the screen to make the camera go right. So just stay on and listen. We'll lean here or there, to make sure that you see us. We apologize. Just a lot of confusion going on today with the setup and all of that. So I'm just inviting everybody that was on earlier to come back on, and we just talk to people for a few minutes, go over a few things, and then let it go for this week. But go ahead. You were saying now.
Take it over. You got it.
Oh no, I'm still trying to get this stuff started. Okay. So it's been a very interesting week. It's an interesting time. We're gonna figure all this stuff out. It seems like every week, and I'm going to talk to this internet company and find out what the bandwidth that they're being able that with, because it powers our whole home, but and we don't have any other problem for when we come live on our webpage, our web show. So it gets to be a little bit of a nuisance on our behalf, because we're dealing with an inanimate object, so you don't know until you start something how it's going to work itself out for you. So those of you that are still on Instagram, hang. It was 15 of you guys mentioned y'all ran, but it's okay. It's all right, because one day you're gonna really want to know, all right, what's going on, and you're gonna have to come back and say, oh, well, I heard that on the Truth Behind Truth, at some point. All right, so digging into where we are, I'll be with you guys. Where we are, everything here. I mean, what decision or where we should be, with things, and it's a very, very different time now. I can't say that you guys have decided to support a man in the warehouse. That's your business at the end of the day. But from my conversation with a lot of people, they wish that they never did,
But why are we even starting to conversation about Trump?
Well, I mean, it's just a fact of that. That's kind of where people are, I mean, and then, those of us that have information highways like the True Kind of Truth is, come on, y'all. We just need you to pay attention. And number one thing, we're going to be standing from this show forward. Vote, 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 because the voting is coming up next week into the midterm, not midterm, the between one. It's coming up next week. And I hope that you guys have gotten your idea for your governors and all that. Just go vote. Instagram, I know you guys are over here. We know you're here. Thank you for tuning in. I apologize for the halfway to the screen, but again, as I explained to you at the top, unfortunately, we're going to lean in, back and forth at the point to make sure you see our faces in that. Or you can take the lead to go to Facebook and pull it on my page, and then you'll see it very correctly, set up. But anyway, we're going to do a couple of things. So I want to bring this because of this difficulty that we've had. I want to open up now. You guys have known greatly about the great opportunities that the Michael movie has done. The resurgence of Michael Jackson in internet and in the world. And it's been so amazing to see how this has really happened. And I'm a diehard fan, but a fan of all fans.
It's amazing how with this resurgence, you've got people who are trying to take away from the resurgence.
Right, we'll get there.
With hit people.
Right.
Let's go there. Let's go there now. With the hit pieces of him being number one globally, why are they up these hit pieces all of a sudden?
Kind of capitalizing on how can I say this? They're capitalizing on the success of the film. So it's a great way to get in there, get out there, whatever, put your message out. Because, when they say whatever, they got the celebrity information. Well, you got a gravitating group of people going to find out they can go to garbage. At the end of the day, and that's just so unfortunate that they are that way.
Yeah.
And the garbage becoming the garbage. At the end of the day,
so it's not going to work this go around.
Well, yeah, because his fan base and
it's not going to work.
I wasn't going to say that, but
it's out there. It's not going to work.
Yeah, well, it's wrong and it's successful, but they're trying to capitalize off the movie. At the end of the day. All right, here's a gentleman that was really had a great hypothesis and a very touching hypothesis of what makes Michael, even in transitioned period, to be as successful as he has and will be for.
Ready to go deep again? Let's talk about Michael Jackson, because right now his name is everywhere in the media. His music is everywhere again, and I don't think that's by accident. There's this growing conversation right now, and I've been sitting with it, that Michael Jackson wasn't just a performer. He was literally a frequency coder. Someone who understood, whether consciously or by divine design, that music is not entertainment. Music is a delivery system. Check this out. Research into his music catalog suggests that much of it was recorded at 432 hertz. And that's the frequency that some people call the heartbeat of the earth, because everything has a frequency to it. And 432 is the natural resonance of the planet itself. And specific songs carry layers of frequency that directly affect the nervous system, the vagus nerve, the heart field, the same biological systems we've been talking about throughout this series. Think about that for a second. Every single time you ever felt something move through you while you're listening to one of his songs, that wasn't some nostalgia. That was your nervous system responding to something encoded in the sound itself. There's a reason why people use sound bowls in spiritual ceremonies. Now here's the part that has been making me think like crazy. This man was handed one of the most brutal soul contracts a human being can be given. Global fame at an age when most of us were still figuring out how to ride a bike. A level of scrutiny no human was designed to withstand. From billions, accusations that stripped him of his name, his peace, and eventually, his life. And despite all of it, all the conspiracies, the lies, the machine that came from him, his music didn't just survive. It grew. Decades after his death, generations who weren't even born when he was alive are feeling something when they hear his songs. Even today in 2026, that frequency is still moving. That delivery that landed back then is still landing today. You cannot explain that with talent alone. That is a soul that came here with a specific assignment, who agreed before his lifetime to carry something that would cost everything personally, but deliver something timeless collectively. I believe that. I don't say that lightly either. I grew up listening to Michael Jackson. I honestly didn't believe all the BS that was going on. Even when I was a kid, it didn't make sense to me. I don't know what it feels like to sign up for a contract like that, but I deeply respect the soul who did. And I can't wait to meet that soul someday. Some souls don't come here to be understood. They come here to deliver something to the collective. And Michael Jackson delivered. What's your favorite Michael Jackson song that resonates the most deeply? Mine is Man in the Mirror. Hands down. Y'all ready to go?
Right. Well, inevitably that is the truth behind the truth. What we can all say what is our favorite song, or what was. I have to agree with him, completely. That's my favorite song. Out of it, I generally love everything that he's ever done, but that particular song, when it came out, it was a song that I believe that was made for humanity.
Well, to be honest with you, when it boils down to it, I don't care what new artists will come and surpass Michael, or who the media would like to prop up to be the new Michael Jackson, because there will never be another one. Like he said, his fame was organic.
Yes.
His fame was so organic to the point everybody knew who he was. Everybody quote superstars in the Western world.
Okay.
Michael Jackson, that's what makes him different from Madonna to Whitney to Britney to Beyonce to Drake to whoever, The Weeknd. Most of those people I have just named are only known within the Western world and some parts of Asia. But Michael was such a global star. Everybody from around part of the tech world, the Amazon to whatever, they knew this guy. The guy was so powerful.
Right.
Even I knew him and did not even know his music. Isn't that powerful?
Yes.
A child not even knowing his music, but knew his name.
Right.
That in itself is a powerful testament to talent, because you have young kids right now. I was in Pavilions the other day getting some lunch, and the little boy picked up the Times magazine of Michael Jackson on the cover and was looking at it and showing his dad of the pictures. But I'm thinking to myself, that's how powerful a testament of talent is, when you are not even alive. And the first thing that child picked up was everything from Taylor Swift to Elvis to whoever that was on the shelf.
Right.
He ended up picking up Michael first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That right there tells me all I need to know of how powerful Michael Jackson was, because even in this still is and was, even in death, nobody can compete with that order.
No.
It's like Princess Diana. When it comes down to royalty, nobody comes with great auras that mediocre people, mediocrity would compete with. I hate to say it, but we have a lot of mediocrity right now. We have a lot of inorganic talent right now.
Right.
We have trends right now people are following, and the trend is only an overnight special. It's not going to work.
Right.
And I'm sorry if you're a Drake fan.
Well,
Be a Drake fan all you want to, but
Drake will never.
And he just doesn't have it.
Right.
Weeknd doesn't have it.
Right.
Whoever, all he do is don't have it.
But that the complete art form of it, Michael had a major global success simply because could you imagine what would happen if there was social media?
He would have been
he's already untouchable. So you
Yeah.
can imagine the hemisphere level that he would have gone to, in that category. So without even having this man achieved what these people fight every day of getting in front of a camera, trying to gravitate success,
dropping people.
Right, dropping albums in the middle of the night, 3 album set, and you thinking it's gonna surpass everything. I won't get into
This
music
man
tonight.
could walk into an airport
Yeah.
and stop an airport.
Right, yeah.
And he did that in Japan plenty of times. He had A$AP Rocky do that one time. And he was confused. So why do people not know me? But they knew him, Michael Jackson, when he would walk through an airport,
Yeah.
and it would be like the president had just showed up out of nowhere.
Yes, it would.
Even before he had died, he was just driving through Beverly Hills. They were coming from a hotel in some type of big, black Navigator, whatever it was. And literally there was a crowd of people on the sidewalk wanting to still see this man a few months before he had died.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
They literally chased him literally halfway down the road, Beverly Hills. That is a testament to one's talent.
Yes,
and I'm sorry, these new artists suck.
Right.
They don't have it.
Right.
They will never have the talent that the legends had before these jokers started showing up out of nowhere. And that's just I hate to say it, it's like the man said some time back, music has already peaked.
Right.
Nobody can never come and redo what has already been done. And none of these new artists have it within themselves to bring something to the table.
Right.
They would, like Whitney would say, there would never be another Barbara Streisand. There would never be another her. There would never be another Michael Jackson because nobody has that type of to dig deep and to educate themselves on what has been done nostalgically from the past.
Yes.
And that is why Michael was so brilliant, because he studied the legends. Right. He studied the legends.
Right, absolutely.
None of these new artists study anybody. They don't know hardly. You have a new generation that don't even know anything about anybody.
True.
You put Whitney Houston in front of these new crop of people. They don't even know who she is.
Right. That I don't particularly care for, and for a lot of reasons that we don't have time to get into. We're going to be real brief. But there is a genre of music out there that has infected in a way that in my opinion, it's become a virus, to the community, and what it is, because when viruses come, they bring all kind of saying the way that it has come, the way that it has dissipated so many other areas of music I won't say it's a virus. It's just pulling people in, and without just cause, without all these other type of things. And it has, in my opinion, diminished a forgiven group of human beings to less than a ghetto. Okay, at the end of the day. And then women, oh my God. I mean, I have never heard so many hookers and hoes and bitches coming out of one group of women out of their mouths. And then my whole lifetime, I would have never felt comfortable about calling a woman that. And how women have gotten to the point of consciously calling themselves those names. Consciously. So but we're not getting
that's what happens when the industry is run by pimps.
Oh, there you go.
That's what the talent was picked out around during the time when you still had great singers like Melissa Morgan,
right?
When you had people like Teddy that was still going. But then come the mid to mid 90s, the pimps started to trade the music industry, and not to say that there were never pimps from the very beginning, but we're talking about people who are now have showed up in more of a hip hop rock situation. And it's the lady said, not Nevermore. I keep thinking the lady who remember my mother was a singer of the Caravans back in the day. Gospel Caravans. She's gonna come to me. But
the group.
The lady love under new management.
Mickey Howard.
There you go. Like she said, we were all in this music industry out of the love of music. But then what had happened, they kicked that out and invited all of these pimps into running the organization, which had ruined and diminished the content of Black music. That in itself is now what we're dealing with right now when you talk about not only with the Cardi B's and the Sexy Reds. Let's talk about the men. Let's talk about the men, like people who came through, like, I hate to say said, but he changed up a little bit with who he is
Grandpa
now.
Luke.
But 50 Cent, Luke, all of these people came with this situation of bringing in the grotesque living of whoever they felt like, the sexual innuendos, the sexual
There were no innuendos.
blatant sexual,
Uh-huh.
and that is what really killed. I feel the content of Black music, because after that, more R&B artists started following that trend. A lot of R&B artists. I mean, you had R. Kelly, with his stuff, and his stuff was a little raunchy, but it just started.
But it wasn't
really ridiculous.
It wasn't a huge number of individuals that kind of turned and went that way in their music. I know what was a group, Jodeci. They started.
Oh, Jodeci, yeah.
After 7 or after 5, they started changing it a little more. But it was it was an infection. I'm gonna call it that again. That has it really.
But it's switched the vibration.
Yeah, it did. That's a good way of putting it. It switched up the vibration, so it really is to the point that now you have a group of vanity running around aimlessly, don't know where they're going.
Well, that's
so therefore,
why I like neo soul. That's why I like neo soul.
Yeah, well,
I
you got my
love
points
the
about
neo
that,
soul
but-
movement. Yeah.
But so it did like the gentleman was talking about with Michael. It was a consistent vibration of music that drew people in, because drew people in with love, and that was coming out of him, and he implemented it through the musical that he chose to use in his songs. That's why you can put a Michael Jackson song on any given time and it moves you. I don't care what it is. It moves you to a certain place. Maybe move you to tears, maybe move you to dance, maybe move you to pause you to think, or whatever the case would be. Last part, we got this one thing, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I remember that when my grandson, Jeremiah, he was probably 4 or 5, and this is back in Atlanta, and then we were out eating, and he was in his household. He wasn't exposed to like Michael Jackson, as would be the the norm, as around me. But we were sitting at this restaurant called IHOP, and then all of a sudden, Rock With You came on, and he paused and he said, "Oh, that's Michael Jackson, 4 years old." And the song rated with him at that particular point. And you got kids. I've seen some, videos out there this week. This woman told a story that while she was pregnant, she was such a Michael Jackson. She does Michael, all the time, pretty much. And when she had her child, as he began to walk, she said that different videos would come on of him or whatever, and the child just started dancing to Michael. There's something that I'm sorry, not sorry. People, okay, you Elvis lovers. Elvis could movie films, whatever the case may be. But even for his time period, it still didn't excel him to this particular point, that the remembrance and the consistency of the remembrance is there. It's not. And you can't go back and bring that again. And then for those that still have not accepted the fact that Michael was not a pedophile, all right, then you go check Elvis's back pocket.
Even after a 13-year investigation through the FBI, still public opinion still won't. When it boils down to public opinion, I could care less, because we got a pedophile in the White House.
Well, there you go. So, good. But I, as we're on the level of Michael, and then we're going to close out with, I hate to start on closing church, invitation from Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then how these do connect. Okay, at the end. But I want you guys to hear this musical chant that that London did, just at the screening of his film, and these people gathered. It was about thousands of people out in the Piccadilly Square, I think it was. Hold on one second.
That's powerful.
that just gives me chills.
That's right.
You know, it really gives me chills to see the gathering of that. And that was Michael's complete dream. And is that humanity would come together, which is my dream, which is his dream, that humanity would come together and love one another. No matter what you look like.
That now.
Nobody.
Nobody's
no matter what you look like, no matter what you sound like, no matter what social group that you're a part of, you were a human being. Okay. And that
it pisses me off because nobody of my generation is preaching that message.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
It pisses me off because I'm living in a society right now that's going through a lot. We're going through a lot, and there is nobody even in this time within this music industry who is speaking that light into darkness.
Right. Yeah.
I'm pissed. I'm literally pissed because it's always the good people that die young. I'm tired. Yeah. I'm tired of the mediocrity of what we're having to listen to on the radio right now. And I've literally turned off the radio. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about this. I'm so passionate right now. I feel like the anger is about to explode because I'm listening to those words in Earth Song. And I'm living in this time where we need messages like that, and I'm not getting that. Music is supposed to wake you up. Music is supposed to make you feel something.
Yes.
Music is supposed to give you enlightenment.
Yes.
Music is supposed to help you survive, to move through certain avenues that's keeping you down. Right now, the artists today are not doing the work.
That's true.
I watched the whole American Music Awards, which was a waste of time.
Yeah.
The American Music Awards last night was a waste of energy. Nobody was doing shit that I could care less about. I didn't want to see people lip singing and gyrating. I wanted to hear a message. And yes, I am a music lover. I'm not a fan of this new crop of shit that now been forced down our throats. I'm pissed. I'm sorry. I want to cuss. I want to scream.
It's okay for your
vision.
vision.
I'm living in a time where people are going through hell.
Yes.
If you're not going through hell, then you know what? That's your situation.
Yes.
But right now, one shoe don't fit all in this society.
Right.
People need to remember that everybody is not doing what you are. And everybody needs an uplifting.
Uplifting,
yes,
absolutely.
Uplift.
I completely agree.
So, yeah, you know,
well,
right there.
I'm glad you shared that moment because it is. I mean, that.
What's her real name? Diana Halton.
No.
Diana.
No. I can't even think of it. I could just say everybody.
Yeah, she was just making a shake. Yes, she was. That attitude last night was so fake and fraudulent. I watched her host that award show, and I said, "Queen, you just doing it for the money." It is what it is. Every act was so fake. Yeah. Even the John Legend introduction, when he introduced the girl from Brazil or whatever she's from, South American legend, it was so fraudulent and so. And I said this shit in my head.
I said like you know. Well, let me say this: these two things, and we're gonna just close out with this first one, the fire clip. There's one guy that he was on Instagram, but he said, "Y'all just stop the camera. Y'all just stop." He said, "Why is there such a discussion about trying to have the song of the year, the song of the summer?" See, and then he's like, "Well, what about Michael? What happened? He's the hottest thing right now. Drake couldn't do it, and he went down the list and everything else." He said, "Well, it's PYT. Okay. If you wanted to a cute girl, a pretty young thing, that the PYT Liberian girl wanted to make it about that time, and he went down of all of the genre."
But let's also add this: I was listening in the store to Cyndi Lauper time after time.
Oh wow!
Let me tell you something. Music makes you feel, and it made me feel. It made me feel something in the store while I was working because I work as a vendor. But when I was listening to time after time, I said, "This is just the melody, the lyric, the meaning behind that message time after time.
Mm-hmm.
People in relationships dealing with all types of craziness, and having to let go takes time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a process, it's a time. That is music right there. That's a moment. Yeah. When you think about I Will Love Whitney Houston, that was a moment. Yeah. It was a blockbuster movie. Right. The Dolly Parton wrote that song from her heart because she was walking away from a television show that she was working on for such a time. Well, I forgot the guy who it was that she was working with, but she wrote that song out of saying goodbye. But that the words to "I Will Always Love" mean something to a whole new generation of people. Right. Music got to mean something. It's like Nina Simone said. It's like Nina Simone said, if you are an artist, you need to be an artist of yours. That means speaking woes in the serious life speaking to me. Nobody's speaking to me.
There's nothing out there that
nobody
move you to a different place. It really isn't. But yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to segue into one of the, I think, in my opinion, those that because they were greatest part of 70s music. But you have a brilliant idea what this group should be done, the same way that ABBA had the stage play of Mamma Mia, from based on their music. This group should have a stage play based on their music as well. Phenomenal group. But the thing that resonates with them is that they had the connective energy from above that they let radiate out of them. Okay, that Michael wasn't doing. And they play quick reference to Michael Jackson in the process. So you can imagine him hearing the same group going to his puberty stage and whatever the kids were finding him. But they were a great channel for him to find himself connected with the universe and trying to harness that in to the peace and love.
But you want to know why? Who was the lead singer to Earth, Wind and Fire? Was his Maurice White was supposed to produce Michael's first album.
Wow.
There was a debate. Even in the movie didn't touch up on it, but it was begging Michael not to use Quincy for his album to do the albums because they always thought of Quincy Jones as a jazz producer or jazz artist.
The movie does touch on it.
They wanted Maurice White. And it was like, no, I might on this album. But that is why Michael was such a follower of Earth, Wind and Fire because he loved the production that they brought to their music.
Absolutely. It was a grand, in terms of that. But the inception of everything that they did, this little clip will they have this thing that's coming on the History Channel about them that was named that is with Jimmy Fallon's group.
I know you're talking about from the Roots.
Yeah, from the Roots. He's doing a thing on.
I keep forgetting his name, but he won an Oscar.
For that. But so we're going to finish up with this because this is just a connective piece of everything we're talking about in music and how it just transcends to what Michael brought on a greater level than what they were doing. Okay, but here they are. A little clip for the upcoming.
Once you strike that first note, there's something.
We can get it going. Again, we apologize tonight for this internet situation. Hopefully, we'll get it corrected. It's coming, guys. Apologize.
Once you strike that first note, there's something that happens.
I feel my heart open up. You get to moving. Hey, and then you hear. Wow.
That's when the funk starts. I'm saying to myself, if they can do that, what can I do? Earth, Wind, and Fire were making a whole different sound.
No people were playing no music like that.
You're thinking they're coming from Africa or from outer space.
It wasn't even a show. It was theater.
We tried to bring us together as one.
We didn't know what effect it would have on the people.
One night, I picked up the kalimba. It kind of inspired me to get an African beat on my own.
They've embraced that music could have a higher purpose.
I wanted to reach a universal audience, to evolve consciousness through the music and change the world, change the world, change the world.
Prince, Michael Jackson, they were down there taking notes, man.
You're absorbing these powerful affirmations.
It appeared that everything we touched turned to gold.
They were defining blackness on their own terms.
They made you feel anything was possible.
Once you strike that first note, there's something that happens.
I feel my heart open.
That's amazing, you know. And if you're not in the realm of following music and the history of it, we really encourage you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, because you miss so much on the well-being of who you are as a person. And I just think about the words to all. And I was an Earth, and still am an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan. You know, I mean, they were probably some of the best concerts that I seen in my early teen years. Mm-hmm. You know, at the end of the next to the Jackson 5, but it was, and like you said, that their message in music should be exploited to the degree that it really should know what it represented. You know, maybe this is the first lead into that, but I think it would be a phenomenal stage play. You know, and create something out of that. Because their goal was the same thing that Michael's goal was, to touch the world with love, to bring the right energy that was out there in the universe that people were believing there was, and harnessing it and bringing it into yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, it's the same thing. You know, I mean, it's just a beautiful time, you know, in that, you know, and I'm glad that we have an opportunity for these resurgence, you know, of this and that. And thank goodness for the Michael movie, you know, that has spearheaded this. If you have not seen the Michael movie, go. All right, go with it. Hasten, run, take a buddy, take somebody with you, because it is an experience, you know. And I'm glad to hear that they are going to be started, you know, doing the second version of that too as well. So we start shooting probably at the end of the year. So we're looking at that probably in 27. 27, we do that 27 early 28. You know, so I'm back on Brilliant. We had a whole lot to dialogue about tonight, but it did not. Them again on another next week's show. All right, you guys have a powerful night. Thank you for tuning in. We love you, and we'll hear without fail. There may be some glitches, but we're here. All right, y'all have a great night. Thanks for tuning in to what?
The Truth Behind